Since 2020, we had the killing of George Floyd. We had COVID-19, systemic racism. All of this came up to the forefront while we were at home. Everybody had to stop and we had to see it. But the thing is, it's been happening. It's not new. All of those things together cause us to reprioritize it. For many of us, it is a continuation of the work that we have been doing. The HEEAT Lab stands for Addressing Health Disparities Through Engagement, Equity, Advocacy, and Trust. I partner with the community, the beauty industry, different community partners in our work as we are looking to develop culturally and socially relevant interventions. As a nurse scientist, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in promotion and tenure, and I gotta have this many publications or this amount of grants. And that's really not why I do what I do. I do what I do because I understand that there are inequities in health and health outcomes for people that look like me. And I wanna do something about it. The relationship that we have with the community is bidirectional because we also need to recognize that there are community experts. We have partnered with beauty salons, with stylists, to co-develop Updo's Protective Styles, which is a salon-based intervention that focuses on increasing that knowledge, awareness, and uptake among women. So using the evidence, we have integrated 3 components that make up Updo's. The first is a stylist training, where we give them information about PrEP, about HIV, risk reduction. At the end of that training, they get continuing education units, which the Board of Cosmetology requires. They also get asked me about PrEP signage to put in their salons. The second component we have created with the community edutainment videos, which are videos that entertain while also giving information. It's called Right Place. What we have learned is that women love it because they see themselves in the messaging. And that's one thing that women told us is, I've seen these commercials for PrEP, but I never thought it was for me because I never saw myself in that. The third component, we are making sure that women have access to PrEP. Through online telehealth services, they can actually reach out to a provider, talk to a provider about PrEP, get HIV testing, and have PrEP delivered to their home. And so we've integrated those 3 components, and it all came from hearing from stylists, from beauty salons, what they thought would work, what they thought would not work. And so we did that on the front end of the development of this intervention. Another example of the work we do is the Talk. The Talk is a web-based application. It provides resources and tools for Black male adolescents and young adults and their parents around sexual health communication. Sexual transmitted infections are high in that population as well. And so we want to make sure that parents have the tools and the resources they need to be able to have these conversations. The Talk consists of podcasts, short clip videos, other information that the parents can use, such as we have the Talk conversation cards, which these conversation cards help to facilitate these conversations around sexual health with the parents. We were working on this with barbershops. We have 2 of our barbershop partners who have co-developed this with us. And around 2020 is when we were in the process of that. And so the feedback from the community is, what about talking about racism and discrimination? That became priority during that time. And so because of that, we now use this approach where we're looking at not only sexual health, but experiences of discrimination and racism and the impacts of that on health. I'm most proud because it is a bidirectional partnership, because we understand that there are barriers to research involvement for communities of color. We have historical as well as current day reasons why we distrust healthcare system as well as the research infrastructure. My research is behavioral research that looks at, the development of interventions, but there's also clinical research that looks at drugs and drug development. It's important that we're engaged in all of it. We need to make sure that our voices are at the table, that our DNA makeup, our perspectives, our lived experience, clinicians and for researchers used to say we are a population that is hardly reached. And it's not that we're hard to reach, we're accessible. But are we reaching out in a way that is socially and culturally acceptable? That would increase that engagement. So it goes back to both parties. Researchers as well as the Black community. We both have roles to play to make sure that our engagement in research is increased through engagement, equity, advocacy, and trust. The mission is the same, and that is to address health disparities. I think that's what I'm most proud of. Visit theheatlab.org to see the full story.